Did you buy another model? I can't believe you. You have way too many of those things. You need to sell some of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 17.
17.
That's
I
a
have
good
no
number.
Roman numerals. I have nothing.
We don't want to see your feet, so...
No, you don't want to see my feet or
No,
anything
we're
else. And you know what? Put something in there. Make a graphic. I don't.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to keep people watching this. We don't want to see...
God forbid you don't want to do any work. Okay.
I'm going to kill him. Tonight's the
We
night.
keep getting emails. You guys really hate each other. Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Oh, man. So here we are. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of February. We had a different plan for this episode again, and it went sideways, and it went sideways in a bad way. We were going to have a different guest on tonight, and right before I sent an email off to that person, Bill Jones, we are going to be talking to you very soon.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Scott called me and said that Matt Clemons had passed away. So that kind of threw a monkey wrench into what we wanted to do. So at the end of this episode, we are going to do a tribute to Matt, our good friend. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's been a week. Like, it sucks. And I know that, talking about the weather is one of the worst things. But we got a lot of snow here. I've been worried about my roof leaking. I haven't cut my hair. And then Scott calls and we have that bad news. So we're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end. And yeah, I don't even know where to go with that. So we'll see what happens. Sucks. That's all we can say. And we'll get to that again.
Yeah, it does suck, and we'll elaborate, I guess, at the end. But
so we're going to try and get through this. We want to get this episode out before February is over, the shortest month. And we do have Mark Worthling on today of Pestilence Labs. And he has an update on the Witch Kit for us and another premiere, which kind of just happened in the last 24 hours that we kind of decided on having Mark coming on. So we got that and some other stuff, some other little things going on. But Scott, how are you with all the news?
Matt's been a fixture for me for 98, since 98, I think, when they first went.
98 or 97.
98 or 99, and those guys, him and his friend Thad, just became, friends. It was part of the group we hung out with. They had visited me to go to Chicago once. Thad stayed here last summer to go to the Star Wars, what do they call that thing, that the Star Wars thing?
Celebration?
Celebration. Yeah, that was in Chicago. So Thad stayed here for a few days. They were more than just, both those guys, Matt, of course, is who we're talking about. They were more than just the hobby acquaintance you saw yearly.
Yeah.
That so many of us have, which there's nothing wrong with that. But these guys were, and Matt and Thad, they were mainstays, man.
Yeah.
Matt was a mainstay.
So we had that going on, and then you have your thing going on, and people actually care about you.
Yeah, I know. That's
what
so
the
weird.
heck is going on here? I have not seen
the people
that.
that aren't, the guy that gave us the thumbs down, he's probably saying, I hope that fucker dies.
There you are. You're swearing again in the first,
so whatever, bleep it out. Don't you have that ability?
I do have that ability. Yeah. But, so you've had a lot of well-wishing going on.
A lot of well-wishing. And I think last time we mentioned the surgery date of the 26th.
Yeah.
And that's been pushed back to the 22nd now. So it's a
pushed
little
up or pushed
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's March 22nd.
Okay.
A Monday. Thanks to all you vultures that want to come and sit in, but I'm hoping we can schedule around. I might be sitting here in pajama pants with tubes hanging out that no one sees, but damn it, I'll do the episode. No one's taking my place till I'm dead.
Don't say that. With the way things have been going.
Yeah, I know. It's
oh man.
But so I really appreciate all the well wishes. I hate Facebook to put my personal stuff out there, but I did just because it's easier to reach so many people, and the amount of well wishes and positive things have been amazing. Emails, private messages, Facebook, Clubhouse, the comments here. It's been really,
Comments here were great this last episode. I gotta say, keep that up, everybody. Like a lot of interaction.
Thank everyone that wished me well, and I think we'll be fine. I don't think this is a life-threatening thing just yet, and one thing I'll comment on really quick, and then we'll move on to something cheerier. Hopefully, is that
no, we're not. We're not.
Well,
this is not.
But
for about 20 minutes, we'll do something cheery.
Well, and then so one thing people, they said, "Well, I admire how you're handling it and how you're, your composure and all that." 2 years ago, when this first was diagnosed, I had my meltdowns then. I had my meltdowns then. I had my anger, my sadness, my everything. I had it all then. And so there's really no reason to revisit that.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to stay positive. You just look ahead. This is all I can do right now is to have this thing taken out. It's small. It's like small. Look up the calculation, 2.3 millimeters. It's pretty small. It's not even an eighth of an inch. I don't think.
Is that appropriate for me to go in and insert a small joke there?
Sure.
When you're
go ahead.
Okay.
Sure. Why not? It's all me. Right. What do you care? You got people lined up to take my place. So,
what's going to happen is I'm going to die first and you're going to replace me with somebody.
That's right. That's right.
You'll be over here digging through my stuff.
That's right. And we're going to have Jamie on the first episode to
celebrate.
Talk about what a bastard you are. So, but yeah. So, but again, I really, honestly, I do appreciate the well wishes. We're still about a month away, and 27 days away actually, because this is a short month, and we'll go from there. But I'll give everyone an update as soon as I can. I might even, when I get home, if we're between episodes, maybe I'll do a short recording and you can throw it up here. Just let everyone know I'm okay and how things went. So
cool.
Thank you.
All
everyone.
Right. Let's get all that. Oh man. Could it get crazier? So let's move on. You see any movies?
I'm trying to think now. Give me a second.
We can't have dead air. It doesn't.
Sorry. That's what the fucking edit button's for. Okay.
We're going to have an F word clock up.
Yeah, an F word. Yeah, a count. Every time Scott says fuck, you get a number. Ding, 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 ding. Uh-huh. So, and then we'll get Rotundi on here and it'll go off the rails.
Yeah.
So,
or me, if I was
running,
trying,
a running total at the bottom, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If I could be unleashed, I would have you beat every time, but I'm trying to be nice.
I don't think I've seen any movies. No,
I saw a movie.
I watched a Beatles documentary, by the way, that I've never seen. So I did do that.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was called the Complete Beatles. It was a real basic Beatles documentary. I guess it was on PBS years ago.
Okay.
And I actually bought a bootleg copy because it's not available domestically ever. And
FBI, he did not.
It was I didn't copy it. I just bought it. I assumed it was real.
Okay.
So
all right.
But it was taken off Laserdisc, so the quality, it was actually really good.
Okay.
Sure.
I watched Willy's Wonderland.
What in the good Christ is a Willy's Wonderland?
It is a Nicolas Cage movie where he fights animatronic, Satan-possessed serial killers.
Someone told me about this today. Oh, who was it?
And it might have been Neil Pepper. He saw it. He reminded me about it, and so I rented it.
I wonder if Thad was the one that was.
Maybe Thad watched it. It's okay. It's funny. It's not fantastic, but it's really, really good. In the fact that it is a Nick Cage movie where he's fighting.
He's like in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
After hours, that's and everything. The animatronics.
Yep, that's the movie.
Okay.
And Nick Cage doesn't have one word in the entire movie. It's fantastic for that. So if anyone has not watched any of the Nick Cage Renaissance films, like Mandy or Color Out of Space, please do yourself a favor and watch those, and then cap it off with this. It was
like
pretty
a Peter
good.
Jackson film.
It is very similar to an early Peter Jackson film. And why? You know what? You besmirch him every episode.
Put him up there. Get him in here. I'll tell him how to direct a movie.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. One of these days, I'm not even kidding. I'm going to write him. I'm going to handwrite him a letter.
Handwrite him a letter. Send it Pony Express over the ocean to New Zealand.
And ask him to come on here and not tell you and surprise the shit out of you.
That would be great.
I bought a Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray standalone. What are you, thirsty?
Yeah, is it okay?
Okay. I bought a Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray player standalone, so I could watch my 4K Lord of the Rings, perfectly in Dolby Atmos and 4K.
So if it's clearer, does it put you to sleep sooner?
I hate you. Okay. The one bit of good news we have this episode is,
but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's 3 bits of good news. A giveaway. We have another giveaway. Paul Gill and Gillman Productions. He has generously donated another kit. Scott, would you like to tell them what they can get?
Don Pardo, tell them what they've won. So we have Caesar from the movie Comcast. Might as well be Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. And this was the fourth installment of the Apes, the original 5. Conquest was the and it starred I think it had Ricardo Montalban in it. So it's Anyway, this is a nice bust. It's a Roddy McDowell as Caesar. And I think it comes with a little poster from the circus that he was actually in at that point. If you've never seen the movie. Have you ever seen the movie, Jason?
I think so.
Okay. I have seen all Planet of the Apes movies, all 5 of the original Planet of the Apes movies. For anyone that wants to try to shame me, I have seen them.
I'm pretty sure I have.
And the videotape in the picture does not come with
Planet of the Apes after or before?
Battle of the Planet of the Apes was after.
Battle.
Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, first time I got it, and Battle.
Okay.
For the Planet of the Apes, or
I'm pretty sure I've seen them all.
So,
but this is great. Thank you, Paul. Seriously, thank you, Paul, for the support. Thank you for getting one of our lucky viewers / listeners.
Send us an email to modelclubtv@gmail.com with your YouTube username and give us the title of Apes on the email so we know what it is. Jason will assign you a number and we will have that drawing on our next episode.
So for those of you who don't know what just happened, Scott just auditioned for my part on this show and took over.
Didn't do bad.
Oh, no, it was pretty good, actually. I was having trouble saying.
I'll tell you what, I'll read the email and you can say Conquest.
There you go. Yeah, okay. There. So seriously, this is a great bust. We will get it out to you between probably around when Scott's having his surgery, actually. We will be drawing a name for the winner for this Planet of the Apes kit next episode. So as soon as this episode goes live, start sending in your YouTube username, like Scott said, with apes in the title, and I will get you a ticket number, and we'll pull on the next episode. So you should be getting it around the time Scott is laid up in the hospital. And hopefully we'll have another episode, but that's why we wanted to get this out as quickly as possible. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Paul. Check out Paul.
Where should they send that again?
modelclubtv@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Check out Paul at Gillman Productions on Facebook. And where else, Scott? Does he have somewhere else?
Your model kits.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Productions. You can reach him. Paul's on Facebook, so you can.
And we'll have all of his contact info down below. And
Mark again, as well. Mark Van Tyne.
Yeah. Beautifully sculpted again.
Yep. Nice kit. And I'm sure the castings will be beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, thanks, Paul. Paul's been really supportive of us, and we appreciate it. And I think we have another giveaway on the way as well. So
yeah, we do have a couple.
Episode we'll have another giveaway.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, moving on to new things, news and reviews.
Well, news and reviews. I forgot to mention, speaking of the Jaeger Army, that Jeff is re-releasing the Jaeger Classic number 18. 18. I can't believe that was number 18. And it's called The Crucifixion. And it's the scene in The Bride of Frankenstein where they string the monster up. And
oh, the poor guy.
And it was kind of a James Whale kind of taking a religious, shot and, had the monster being crucified, type of thing. When this first came out, I didn't get it because it was like, so many of these kits were like the monster was vulnerable, and I was like, man, I want the monster to be kind of badass. And I picked this up at Jersey Fest, and when I looked at it, I said, yeah, I'm going to get it. And when I took it out of the box, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sculpt. And you can see the pictures here. Dennis Lange painted this
Dennis.
one. And Dennis, we stole your photos. If I'm sorry, we're going to give you a plug here, though. And,
yeah, check out Denis Lange. He does really good. He does build up service, and
so
we'll put his contact info in there too.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And then this is a good, kind of a 360 view of the kit. The ropes are separate pieces. This kit's like really well engineered too. The way the ropes go on and everything. It's really cool. So I don't have the box art anymore because when I came from New Jersey, I had to toss the box and I couldn't save the box art. So I just threw it in my luggage. But I do have this kit, and Jeff's re-releasing it. I want to say $175. Not sure.
Okay.
Facebook, the Jaeger Army. They will let anybody join as long as everyone behaves. I don't care who you are. They let me in.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
And then, but also I think Jeff, for the Clubhouse guys, you can check Jeff out. I think there's a post about this there too somewhere. So
cool.
Reach out to Jeff.
Yeah, for those people that missed it the first time around, there you go.
There you go. And then got a couple pictures here of the Jaeger Army exclusive black cat bust painted by Saul Alvarez, a black and white and a color. Again, this is a beautiful bust, man. This is just, I can't wait to get it. So that's, it's a beautiful bust.
It is. It really is.
And then I got a few things. Should I show those now?
Yeah, sure. What'd you get?
So from our guest to be here tonight, he had made a post that he had cast some witch heads and nameplates, and we'll let the camera focus on that for a minute.
Oh, that I like.
And so that was sculpted by Jeff for the Aurora Witch kit, and and Mark's nice creature card, Pestilence Labs. There's Mark's info, so we don't have to put it up. No, I'm just kidding. But so I got that. I mean, it was on my list to get, and when he said he cast some up, I said, yeah, I'll take one. So he charged me double and made me come on. I also picked these came this week, finally. These reissues of these great kits.
That's a nice box.
It is a nice box. It's kind of like the glow box size. And there were some issues of these, and I don't know if they were the earlier or later issues, because I have an original downstairs.
Okay. Of
both of these kits, and they're in more of a rectangle box. But I know the Snoopy kit for sure came in both boxes. So I do have a sealed one that I'll be putting on eBay soon now that I have this, because there's no sense of having it anymore. And got the Snoopy here as well, and we'll let the camera get in on that a little bit. Straighten it out. And I'm going to pop it open just because I can. And Steve Iverson did a nice video on this.
Wait a minute, the box is open?
Yeah, the box is open. Yeah. So you've got instruction sheets. It's like this, it's like crazy, this instruction sheet. And I don't know how this compares to the original because it's been a long time. But as you can see, this is like a lot of instruction.
That's a lot of stuff. Yep.
So the kit comes molded in 3 colors. Actually 4 colors. You got the black pieces, the white pieces, the yellow pieces, and there are some couple red pieces.
Okay.
Nose piece and the thing.
So if you didn't want to paint it, you wouldn't have to?
No, you wouldn't have to. I want to say, and Steve mentioned this in his video as well, the original might have been a little, it was still yellow, but maybe a little more of an orange in here with the yellow.
Okay.
But I mean, I'd be nitpicking that.
And you nitpick? No, never.
Comes with the motor. The little motor thing is in here. And really, if you wanted to get away with not painting this, and I'm going to get on the only thing, come on, focus. It's not going to. All right. Because it hates me. Let me put this down. Maybe I can play with it a little bit. We'll be editing this part. Okay. So how close can I? Oh, there. I can get closer.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
So you can see the eyes.
Yeah.
And then there's teeth showing as well. And then that little slot in the one side of the mouth is where the word balloons go. So you could almost take a Sharpie and fill that in, or a real thin pen.
Okay.
And not even use paint on this if you wanted. And then you could get a little white paint stick or something if you want, and paint the goggles and the helmet. Well, where's the helmet? There it is. Okay. So, but other than that, you could get away with, not doing a whole lot to this and just having a fun display. Great for kids, man. I look at this and say, we talked about this. I don't know how many kids today know what Snoopy is and Peanuts and all that. But if they did, what a fun little thing to build. And you spin the propeller and it just runs forever till you stop it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it takes a AA battery, and the whole nose piece comes in, and that's where you put the battery. It's all snapped together, although there are some spots that you might want to put a little tab of glue on just to think. So I've got one gripe about this kit.
Oh, no.
The decals. Okay. They're stick-ons. They're not water slide decals.
So it's just stickers, not
It's
stickers,
just stickers,
and water?
right.
Okay.
And so if I have one gripe, when I showed that Wacky Racers kit a couple episodes ago, or last episode, I don't know.
It had both, right?
It had both.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought that was a nice touch. And I think that would have been a nice touch on this. But
couldn't you, if you wanted to, you could make your own water slide ones, copy it and make.
Well, you could, but the
stuff?
problem with that always is, I'm going to show the box here again. Hold on. So the problem with that always is white.
Yeah.
So you would have to paint, and see, this S is actually one of the stickers. Okay. So you would have to paint it white to do that. It's kind of funny too that they did this. Let me let it focus in. This was the comic book ad for the original.
Okay.
And I think Atlantis put their stuff in here, but this is the original comic ad. And I didn't even look at the back of the Red Baron. What's on the back of the Red Baron? Oh, just a picture of the built-up.
Okay.
So,
I don't think I've talked this much about Snoopy in the last 30 years.
Yeah, well, that's because you grew up in the 80s.
And then Snoopy was there. I watched.
So that's what I got.
Good. Cool. Did I get anything? No, which is shocking.
Yeah, you usually get something.
Anything.
No miniatures, no nothing.
No.
Wow.
It's only been a week. I think that's why.
Well, yeah. For those of you watching, it's really only been a week since we put the last episode.
Let me look around. No, I have not got anything. So yeah, workbench. Have you built anything, Scott?
No, but I did open that box.
Okay. Look what I did.
Whoa, here it comes. Man, you got a lot of seaming to do on that.
I know. What I did, I filled in the gaps with putty and then drilled holes because they were concave inside of there, or convex. So there was no contact point. It was just on the edge. So I had to redo that. So now I just finished gluing that today. I'm going to see. So this is for next month.
Did you get the fins in the right order?
I don't know.
Okay, I can send you. I've got the actual sheet that Mike had on there.
Did
so
I?
You can see. I don't know, but I'll send it to you.
It'd be funny if I did, because
I
I took a good guess.
Yeah, because they were on a. For anyone that has it, it's on a long resin thing where you pour them all at once, and then there's there was a little hand drawn instruction thing on there that showed where they are, and I'll send you the picture as soon as
Because
we're done. You can see.
when I had got that, they were already separated, so they were all
So
separate.
hold that up again, because I do have a few questions, because now you're familiar with it. Okay. And after 20 years, I'm very familiar with it. Turn it a little bit to your left. Okay, not a little less to your left. Okay. So that little seam in there, and I'm acting like you can see where my finger's pointing, by the way. So that seam kind of where your FU finger is, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But no, where the leg's up.
Yeah.
And that's going to be that's the only seam I have left on mine.
So I was gonna start I think we should have a segment, the dumbest tools we have that are like the best things to use. I have one of those clay shapers that's like the silicone tipped sculpting tools, and it's got like it's like a wedge shape, and it is the best Godzilla texture maker thing ever. I don't know if like it works so well on doing Godzilla skin that like you could just basically just poke that in there with it and you'd never know. So that is a pain in the butt seam though.
The next question I have for you on that is when you put those, because at one point I had all my fins on there.
Yeah.
But they barely touch.
They barely touch. Yep. Nope.
Oh, okay.
There's like no contact point. So I basically put like a giant glob of glue and then put it down and kicked it. And the air bubbles, each of them had like a giant air bubble in the bottom. So I filled the air bubble in there. Man, if people don't like, people get so picky about kits these days and air bubbles and seams and stuff.
Oh man. Yeah. These early.
Yeah. Like, come on. So, I mean, this is what we grew up building. So I don't care. But if someone got this today, they'd send it back immediately.
You know what I want to do with that is,
I think you told us.
I want to make a bigger one.
Oh yeah.
The same way. I want to make a bigger one. Have someone sculpt a bigger one. Exactly the same, but bigger.
And then you want Mike Parks on the foot, right?
Cool. Huh?
And you want to put Mike Parks on the foot.
Mike on the foot would be fun.
Yeah.
Or the political opponent of your choice, maybe. Kind of a blank or a fellow modeler.
So I know what I'm going to, like, I don't know. Can you see that?
Back it up
we're doing a lot of this today.
Yeah.
You can barely make out like what that is on the foot. Like the casting's so kind of So I have an idea. I'm going to do something else. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm going to change that.
I'm stepping in poop or something.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm totally going to do. Look at that.
King Kong poop.
Some King Kong or Ghidorah.
Damn it, Kong.
Ghidorah
damn it, Kong. So,
that's a good, there you go.
There you go. Another great idea.
You're a genius. Like we learned earlier. Well, not earlier, later.
We're about to learn.
We're about to learn you're a genius. So yeah, that's what that. The other thing is this GD airplane I'm building. So the masking kit that Trevor put up there, I saw, and then you had sent it to me. And I was like, no, if it were for me, I'd do it. And I should have bought that. I have not sworn that much, that loudly in a very long time. And I'm still not done. I can't get the right colors. I did it by airbrush. I tried to do it freehand. Then I tried, and then my airbrush kept messing up. And then I'm going to sound like a psycho. And then I was like, no, that's not working. So then my airbrush starts spitting. So then I put Play-Doh on there to try and mask off the edges, but I didn't wait for it to dry long enough. And I was trying to do this at like midnight to get it done so it would dry overnight. And then the Play-Doh stuck to the wet paint. And so it was still there while I was trying to paint. And it turned into a giant swear fest. And I don't like airplanes at all. I just don't. It's not fun.
The nice thing is when you get frustrated with them, you can toss them and they can have like their last flight.
Dude, okay. I'm not even kidding. I was so close to calling it quits and just buying the new kit on eBay and sending it back to my friend and being like, no, I'm done. I can't do this. And I'm just, whatever. It is what it is at this point.
For those of you watching, Jason takes commissions.
No, I don't. Not for airplanes. And not really for anything right now. I don't have time. Boy. So yeah, that's my workbench, swearing and cracking pieces. This stupid little bit of landing gear, I've snapped off 4 times. Anyway, okay. For emails and corrections this week, we're going to go ahead and skip those, considering some of the stuff that's going on, and we're going to hang on to those and do them in the next episode. So look for those next time. Thank you both Phil and Logan for sending those in. We appreciate it. Just lots of weird stuff going on this time.
And here we are with our special guest, Mark Worthling, on for the third time, which makes him our number one guest.
Most returning.
Most returning. He's like the Don Rickles of Model Club. He's coming back.
Let's hope he's as funny.
Mark wanted to give us an update on a few projects and talk about a few more projects. And we will go from there. So, Mark, welcome back. Good to have you.
Welcome back, Mark.
Thank you. Thank
How's
you.
the weather down there? You know, we had some Florida weather today. It was 48 degrees, I think. So, yeah.
I think it was at least 85 here today. It was pretty warm.
85. Yeah.
Yes.
85. My basement would flood right now. There's so much snow on the ground here. So, Mark, what's where are we at? I know a lot of people are anxious to see The Witch and progress, and you've sent us some casting shots and some progress shots, and give us an update.
So we've got a lot of early castings. I say a lot, about 6 that are done. And that's for a paint up that I'm having done, a couple paint ups I'm having done. One for me to build, and I sent one to overseas to the factory. And a lot of people ask, why are you doing this with a factory? Why aren't you just casting them yourself? There's a lot of parts to this kit. It's 42 parts, I think. And so right now, at a minimum, I'm planning to produce 200 kits.
I'm laughing because you just said 42. So for those that aren't familiar, Jason has a problem with the number 42. It seems to come up in his life.
Dude, it's so crazy.
So when you just said 42, that was so perfect. So, all right, sorry.
Okay.
Scott will send me. He goes to Portillo's 5 times a week, and then every time he gets the number 42 as the ticket number, he'll text it to me. Anyway.
Okay, so 42
okay.
parts.
So, I didn't make that up. The number really is 42, and right now I'm at least planning to do a couple hundred of these kits because the response has been unbelievable. So 200 kits, that's about at 8,400 parts that need to be cast. So I'm not doing that in my garage. So these are going to be produced same way the creature was, the Hunchback. Very high quality, very well packaged, and I will get them all on the same day. So they will all ship out on the same day. So everybody will get their kits at the same time. Nobody has to wait. So it'll be very good. The downside is that all this stuff takes time to do it right, to do it, in such a way that everybody gets a beautiful kit that they can, wash, put together, and paint. They don't have to worry about, resculpting the whole thing just to be able to paint it. So we're probably looking at April timeframe, probably the latter part of April is when this thing's going to happen. So I'm sure we're putting some pictures up on the screen for people. Got some really cool images of some of the pre-production molds and some of the early castings. It's really phenomenal. And I've got Tony Aranjo doing a paint up right now. And when he received the pre-production casting, he was beside himself. He said the castings were absolutely phenomenal. So that's nice to hear from somebody like Tony that builds a lot of kits. So making great progress. It's going to be coming soon, and I'm sure from the pictures everybody's seeing on the screen, they can see the quality of this and how complex it is. It's going to be a pretty fun kit.
Has it gone pretty smoothly?
Yes, it's just time consuming. So, as everybody knows, we're dealing with this pandemic, and it's been pretty difficult just to get things done in a expeditious manner. Working with the molders and casters over on the West Coast, Mark Brokaw and one of his colleagues that he works with, they're doing a phenomenal job. It just takes time. That's the only downside.
So I remember at one point you said you were cutting wires and bending wires for the hooks on the base. I'm assuming for the beam that goes over the top. Y'all done with those? Are you gonna have to add those, or will those come from the factory now?
No, they're all done. I basically will send a box of those. They're all prepackaged. I'll send them over there to the factory so they can put them into the kit. And if it makes Jason feel better, that brings the parts total to like 47 or something like that, 48.
Yes. Yes.
Ask him to do some more math and watch his head blow up. Okay, because I mean, he's a teacher and all, but
They're so mean.
doing third grade multiplication because he's. So, first of all, I want to swear at you over those cages because it sure is going to be fun putting those together and then seaming the floor on them. Between the things, unless you can hide them with creatures or whatever, So I want to thank you for that. That's going to be fun. But
now we'll find out how those went together. It's what we may be looking at in the pictures is some of the early castings before they were really cleaned up. My hope is that the production parts are going to leave very little seam. So hopefully there won't be much to really deal with.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I got to bust your balls about something. It's what I do. But
it's looking great. It really is.
What else can you do? Yeah, it is. So the Cauldron, is that going to be cast clear or is that going to just be regular resin or?
It's going to be right now. I'm getting a quote for the kit completely in regular resin, and then I'm getting one of two things will happen. Either I'm going to find out what it's going to take to cast certain parts in clear and include clear parts in all the kits, or I'll have an alternative parts kit for the clear parts, which would be the Cauldron, the flames, and the lantern. My hope is that we can do that in all the kits, so people can light it. But worst case, the clear parts will be available. And by the way, I'm sending a set to Matthew Lawrence so that he can think about a harness or something that he can offer for people that would like to light the kit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Everybody working together. That's awesome.
And I have to give credit where credit's due. The guy that's really doing all the work on this, his name is Bradley Worley. He works with Mark. But he is amazing. I mean, the molding and casting work this guy is doing is top notch.
I just envisioned him bringing him out in the GIMP suit, like Pulp Fiction.
Bring out the GIMP.
Yeah. Like Mark's little GIMP
casting.
Guy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There we go. All right. Yeah. Bradley, I'll give you Jason's home address.
Oh man. Maybe he's into that sort of thing. We can get him out.
No, we're not all freaks like you.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Okay. So and then the next thing I know is a project you have out there is the Barlow bust by Mark Mantine, and we had discussed that I think on the last time you were on, or maybe the first time you were on. You've been on so many times now, but where are we at with that? How's that project coming along?
So the Barlow bust is the bust itself is available now. In fact, I have the sculpt in the next room over here. So I actually have the sculpt that Mark it survived the molding process. So I have the original sculpture, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can order the Barlow bust today from Mark Brokaw, and it stands alone on it. This is I think the first time that a big head kit from Earthbound Studios can be bought in two ways. You can buy the bust that literally stands on its own and is a beautiful piece without the amazing base that Mark Mantine is working on right now. Or you can buy the base and the bust when the base is available, which will be very soon. The base is almost done. Mark Mantine's finishing it up. It's another intricate piece. It's going to be pretty crazy. I haven't seen it yet, but the plan is you've got one of the Glick boys inside the base floating at the window, which is the front of the base, and he's scratching on the window, let me in, so the master demands it. So that will be pretty impressive. So you can get the bust today, and you can actually order the base separately later if you wanted to get the bust today and work on it.
Cool. So, that's a great option. I like that.
Yeah, it is a good idea. All right. So you have a couple new things since the last time you were on.
Liz, huh?
Liz from your Hellboy series. And,
yes. And I can't remember if we mentioned Liz last time. I don't think we did. This has been a project that started a while back, actually almost 2 years ago. It was almost like a a challenge, if you will. This gentleman, Michael Bergland, he's kind of making a name for himself. He's done a lot of sculpting.
He's all over the place right now.
Yeah,
he is. He's all over the place. Yeah,
he really is. And George Stevenson has worked with him. He recommended him, and he kind of just asked if he could take it on and give it a shot. I told him the concept I was thinking about, with her in the middle of flames, since she's a fire starter, and holding a flame in her hand, and he whipped something together so quickly it just kind of boggled my mind, and we ended up printing it and rolling with it. Now I've had the print for, gosh, well over a year, and I cleaned it up, sent it to Mark Brokaw, and I said I cleaned it up, and that wasn't good enough for Mark's. Mark then cleaned up my cleaned up copy, and the base is literally like ice. I mean, I'm sure we're showing pictures of it on the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful crystal clear blue tinted. I mean, the resin is absolutely crystal clear. With
that is a cool blue. I like that.
Yeah. So that I'm also talking to Matthew Lawrence, seeing if there's any anything that he could do to help with a lighting kit for it. Worst case, I'll just kind of help people with some guidance on lighting it. But we'll see if Matt can come up with something. So I'm shipping him one of those as well to look at.
I remember, I think you did send us a render of this. I don't know if we were able to.
We didn't show it though. We didn't.
But I think you did send it to us just to kind of give us a heads up that it was coming. So I remember seeing the render of it, but really the castings look better than the render. And like you said, that blue tinted resin is just, it's beautiful. And yeah, it's like you say, it's crystal clear too. It's, I know you talked to me on the phone the other night and explained it a little bit, how Mark was doing it. And it was just like, wow.
It's a process. And I hope I get it right. I think he mixes the resin, tints it, of course. I think it gets vacuumed first, kind of like what you would normally do with rubber. Mm-hmm. So he pours it in the mold. It goes into the vacuum chamber. Then it gets moved from the vacuum chamber into the pressure pot, and it gets pressurized. So it literally sucks all the air out of the resin before he pressurizes it. So it's pretty intense process. But the results are incredible.
And for those that aren't familiar, because it's a clear resin, the setup time is a lot longer.
Yes.
Which is why he has the time to do that. Okay. Yep. He has the time to vacuum air out, and then he has time to put it in the pressure pot, and then he has time to pressurize it. And chances are he has to leave it pressurized depending on it. Sometimes that stuff is an hour to cure. I don't know what this particular one is, but so you do have some time. It's not like he's rushing. He's got 3 minutes, like most resins, to go, oh shoot, I got to vacuum it and I got to do this. So, he does have some time with that, but it's a beautiful process, and it really looks good. What's our next thing you didn't have last time that you just previewed? What, in the last week, actually? Because it's the first I've seen of it anyway. So.
You talk about the creature base?
A creature base, yes.
Yeah, yep. So really cool creature base. I mean, this is something very simple, just a base, but it's really designed to look like the cave scene in the movie. And the cool thing with this base is, and we're showing pictures of this on the screen here, it really accommodates just about every creature kit very well. The Billiken kit, the Horizon kit, the Mobius kit, which we don't have pictured here, but the Mobius kit fits perfectly on it. Either the single creature or the creature with carrying Julie. So it's just a great piece. It does take a lot of resin, but I'm trying to sell them for like $45. I mean, it is a lot of resin. So,
what are the dimensions on it, roughly?
Roughly, I'd say it's approximately 10 or 11 inches wide, and maybe six or 7 inches deep. Cool. And you've got these tall columns of stalagmite or stalactite.
Mites.
Mite.
Yep.
And they curve up. It just really looks nice. And by the way, the painted up pictures that we're looking at here were done by a buddy of mine, Rod Hickey. I don't know if you guys see him posting now a lot. He wasn't on Facebook. He wasn't on Facebook forever, and he just finally got on there, and he's posted. The guy builds like a madman. I think he's done for clients probably 10 of my box art creature kits. I mean,
man,
it's unbelievable. Yeah, he did like 5 hunchback kits. I mean, the guy builds like crazy. So it's a really cool base, and it's pretty affordable, I think. So
the cool thing about it does not have to be. I'm sorry. The cool thing about it is it doesn't have to be a creature base, right?
no,
You could use it for
absolutely.
anything. Though, if you need a cool cave base, it's done. Really good.
Maybe that could even be an otherworldly base.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you got a Metaluna mutant on there. Or something.
Would look good on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you got the Horizon kit on there, and I know there's been a few creature bases over the years, and that Horizon kit is always the albatross that won't fit on any creature base that's out there. It's got such a wide stance.
He does.
And but what's funny is, Mark, I know you met Ben Chapman. When you see him walk, he walked like the creature from the. I mean, it was just, oh, here comes the creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, he didn't he, Mark? Did you ever you met him? Didn't you?
I never did get.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
I've met Rico several times.
Yeah, he just had this gait about him that it was like, here comes the creature. But yeah, so here when you see the wide stance, that was always
Checking out Ben's legs. Huh?
Ben's legs. Yeah. Well, Ben was all legs. So who sculpted this? Did you make this? Did you have someone make this? What?
I don't know the details. I think it was going to be a creature base for a pre-paint back in the day that was never materialized.
Oh, okay.
I think Frank Winsper, I think he had this sculpted and wasn't doing anything with it. So I said, go ahead and put it out there.
And I know you have an upcoming project that you're working on with Jeff that will correspond with Atlantis's next Glow Monster release. What do you want to tell us about that?
All right, so it's getting a lot of attention. I think everybody's pretty excited that love plastic kits and the old Aurora stuff. The King Kong is coming back out with the Glow parts and the Glow, the box. So that is I think it's supposed to hit the shelves in April.
And the missing pieces.
With the missing pieces, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that on the last episode.
I've never seen somebody so excited for tree bits.
I know. So I've got Jeff actually working on a replacement head for Kong. It's going to be kind of the round head. There's 2 different versions of the original Kong, the round head, and I don't know if they call it the long head or the
long face.
Yeah. So this will be the round head, and I'm going to see if we can get him to go ahead and resculpt the Fay Ray figure, because it's everybody always says that's horrible, and it'd be really cool to
it is bad.
Get him to do that and design it in such a way. Some genius gave me some guidance on this to have it sculpted so that the upper body can be inserted at the top of the hand and the lower body can be attached at the bottom. That way you can clean up and seam the hand and then add the Fay Ray figure. So
you see the hateful reaction I'm getting right now because you called me a genius. Do you see it? He hates it. He's probably never seen the original King Kong. The only King Kong he's ever seen is that
saw it at the movie theater with you, jerk.
76. Oh yeah, you did. That's right. You did see it. I forgot. Yeah.
Anyway,
I like the 76 Kong.
Okay. Oh, he's out. This will be the 3rd and last time Mark Worthley's on our show. You're just hoping to have that out by April.
That is the plan. Yep, it'll be.
You're hoping to talk to Jeff about the Fay Ray before he sees this episode. So
yeah, I'll send him an email tonight.
You got till Friday.
And if he hates the idea, the genius had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Then it was all yours. Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't blame it on me.
Well, you can blame it on Jason. I don't care.
You jerks.
That works for me. So it'll be interesting. And I know you and I talked about it the other night, where I said the round head would probably be better fit for that model.
Yeah.
Just by the shape of it, that I remember, like it might be harder to do the long face.
I think it would look odd on that body.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because I might have a King Kong fetish thingy going on, but whatever. And
I need brain bleach. I just thought.
Why?
I just never mind.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't need a COVID shot then. So anyway, all right. That was a not political joke, just so everyone knows. It was just a fun joke. So Mark is kind enough again to give us an exclusive preview.
We have a premiere?
A premiere of something that's, it's I'm going to call it now for something completely different. It's not a monster. It's not from a horror movie.
Is it a creature?
It is not. Well, it's a beautiful creature, actually. And Mark, I'll let you go ahead and introduce her.
All right. So this is something that's been in the works for quite a while as well. Something I've been working on with, again, my friend Frank Winsberg, that used to be the driving force behind Mobius models. Frank actually commissioned Jeff to sculpt this figure of Sandy from the movie Grease, which is, of course, Olivia Newton-John. And it's the scene at the end of the movie when she transforms herself into kind of the alter personality that she had kind of been through the entire movie. At the end when she's wearing the skin tight pants and the leather jacket and everything, and it's a pretty beautiful rendition of Sandy from the movie here, and actually the paint up that you're seeing is done by David Fisher. I think it looks great, and the sculpt turned out really good, and I'm hoping that people will resonate with this. I mean, for me, growing up in the '70s, we all had posters of different things, and whatever. As far as movies and influences that are from movies. You got Bo Derek, running on the beach. That was one, and then Farrah Fawcett and all the various things she did in that poster that is hanging on every kid's door. And then you have
not every kid's. Don't forget, Jason was younger than us. He had Christy McNichol or something on his door.
And then you had Sandy from Grease. So I freely admit I have the original vinyl album from the movie in my vinyl record collection.
Look at that.
I'm wondering if David Fisher was listening to it, the soundtrack, while he painted it for some inspiration. What do you think?
Could have.
I was watching Jason's expression, Mark,
no.
and let me ask Jason, because I saw you looking at your phone.
This is like a first that Scott gets to do.
Have you ever seen Grease?
Parts. I've seen parts of it. I did not know.
Here's my problem, Mark. I want to movie shame him, but there's those that could movie shame me for seeing it. So I don't know which way to go here.
I looked it up. That looks cool. My first memory of Olivia Newton-John is Physical, the music song video.
Yep.
You don't have the Xanadu soundtrack?
Oh yeah, that movie. That's roller skates, right?
Don't think I've seen Xanadu.
Is that the same? Then we've totally gone off the rails. Is that Wisconsin Dells has that Xanadu house that made out of foam? Remember that?
That's
just
great.
Me. Okay, sorry.
That's great. So, how long was this project in the works? Because I think you had mentioned this to me a long time ago.
I think I probably did. This has probably been in the works for a couple of years. It was something that Jeff, Frank didn't have a timeline, so I think Jeff, it was on the schedule for a while. I'm not sure how long he had been sculpting on it, but I think we got the sculpt maybe about a year ago, and with the COVID stuff, everything got crazy like everything else. So we molded it up. This is the goal here is that this is going to be a very affordable piece if somebody wants to add it to their collection and reminisce of their childhood in the 70s. The hope is that this is very affordable and people can buy it and have a cool piece to add to their collection that's not monster related or not science fiction related.
And I think that is amazing that finally you're getting new stuff out of Jeff. You're getting stuff that other people might like. This is the way we need to go. I think this is good stuff.
I'm wondering if you were there, what was Jeff's reaction when he was asked to do this?
I don't know. That's a good question.
If we get him on again, I have to ask him. So when they asked you to do Sandy from Greece, what was your?
I'll bet he was like.
He probably said, "Are you paying me?" And yeah, then I'm
no.
good.
I think it was probably the opposite. We'll have to bet on that.
What? Oh, that he's doing it for
I
free?
thought no, that he was excited to do it.
Oh,
because
it's something different.
Yeah.
I have to say, it's something different from the normal what Jeff does for sure. So.
Well, I think you guys were talking about it in the last episode. I think it would be cool to see some sports figures, entertainers like this, or like Scott, you even mentioned wildlife. I mean, it could be, there's so many more subjects out there than classic horror or science fiction.
Well, you are a busy man.
Yeah.
I am.
Did you take juggling lessons recently?
I really, really do enjoy this, and I think everybody that I talk to and work with knows that it's just fun, and it's cool to be able to bring something to the hobby and contribute and have fun doing it. So that's my goal.
Do you have a full-time job too?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just, you've got a lot of logs in the fire, So.
You would have to be retired in order to do this. And you can't make a living doing this for sure, but it's kind of fun to do it on the side and make some people happy. And some people, hopefully making people happy,
Oh, and how are things going over there at the Jaeger Army? Do you know the number of members you have on that now?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. I think it's north of 600. The first exclusive is well on its way as far as casting goes. From the Black Cat, the Karloff piece. Which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way, and Saul's paint-ups are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we've got the pictures of those we're going to show for sure, because I like the black and white one a lot.
It's amazing. I wish I could do that. Saul is really an amazing painter. And then the second piece will be, on the heels of the Black Cat, which is the Palance Dracula, which is something people aren't very familiar with. I encourage people to go look it up. I think you can stream it on one of the streaming services, Prime or one of those. You can just go stream it for free. It is actually a very good rendition of Bram Stoker's book, and it's pretty true to the book, very much like the latter version that came out. So it's an interesting watch. You should definitely give it a shot.
I think we have it.
Yeah.
Because was it a TV movie? Was it a made-for-TV movie?
I believe it was.
Yeah, and at one point my wife wanted it, and I found it on DVD somewhere. So I think we might even have it.
There you go.
Wow. I haven't seen it, but we may have it. I was watching Grease.
Great. Oh, man.
So lots of other things in the pipeline, but those are kind of 6 months to 12 months out. So we'll come back on then and talk about
Excellent.
That.
Yeah, he wants to come on again.
We'll love to have you.
Yeah,
I'll override the Kong slate. I don't care.
Kong slate. Fact.
Thanks for joining us, Mark. This has been great. Thanks for the update. Again, seriously, come back anytime you got something to show, and we'll have you on. Thank you for the support too. Like, this is great. We love having you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Take care,
Thanks,
man.
Mark. We'll see you.
All right, welcome back. That was Mark with an update on everything he's got going on with Pestilence Labs. Pretty cool stuff. That witch. Ooh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's
it
a
looks
really
cool.
nice piece.
Yeah, all of Mark's contact stuff's down below. Get a hold of him, and if you want any of that stuff, there's some good stuff coming out. The contest, remember, for us, the drawing for the Planet of the Apes bust from Gilman Productions from Paul Gill. Again, that info is down there below. Send us an email with your YouTube username, and please like and subscribe to our show. That's the only requirement we have, and we'll get that drawing pulled the next episode. So, okay, on to the part we kind of been avoiding this entire episode, and that's maybe where we've gone kind of long. Matt Clemons passed away this week, and I don't even know what to say. Matt and Thad were one of the, I think it was Lance I met before them, and Larry and Leanne, and then Matt and Thad were right around there at the same time. So, and we've known them on the Gremlins list before that. So we've known them a very long time.
Pigman and Astro Zombie.
Yep, Pigman and Astro Zombie. And it's been kind of hard the last few years because Matt's had some health issues and hasn't been able to come to Wonderfest. And so I don't want to say we're, me personally, not shocked, but still surprised. When you told me, I think when you called me the other day, it hit me pretty hard, but it didn't really hit me as hard as I thought right away, because I was like, okay, I kind of knew that might happen, or just knowing some of the health stuff that was going on. But it wasn't until I sat down at my gaming computer, and Matt and I were friends on Steam. And on Steam, there's your friend list, and it has people who are logged in. And it really, like, there was Matt's name, and he was away from computer. And I was just like, oh man, he was a great guy. He was a funny guy. And I don't know what to fill that hole. It's a hobby hole that is going to be gone. Like, there's a lot of people that have passed away here in the last few years, but I think this is the one that was closest to me, and I think closest to you, other than John. And it sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah. I first met those guys, I think 90.
I think it was 97 in person.
97,
97,
98. I think 98. 98.
Weren't they there for the Harryhausen year?
No?
90,
I was 96.
So then it's the year after.
They were there the second Harryhausen visit.
Okay. That's okay.
So it was 98, and that was the first show that I actually started socializing a little bit. And so I met them.
We've gone in the opposite direction. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I remember seeing their room. They had they were so enthused. And, back then the Gremlins was a big deal. And so you go by their room and it said Pigman and Astro Zombie's room.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is how it is. You got to get in with people, and, you go visit people and stuff. And the very next year, I think, was the first year they had that kind of Lizard Lounge meet and greet on Friday night. And they were sitting at the table, and I just kind of, and I don't even know if Thad remembers this, I just kind of sat down and was talking to them, and just over time, got to know them better. And, Matt was just so funny. I'll never forget the one time he was walking over to the one door that walks out on the angle. And I walked over to see where he was going. He goes, "Don't come over here." And he's got the door open, and he's waving behind him like he walked over there to bring some wind. And we've got a lot of pictures to show. And I remember what a thrill it was for him to meet George Romero.
Yeah. And Bernie Wrightson
Nick Taro, and Matt was into all that stuff. Matt was into all those movies I don't watch. But,
that's for sure. He was. And a really good modeler in his own right too. Like,
yes,
wrote for AFM, has been there since the beginning. Not of AFM, but like the hobby since the beginning. He's one of those original guys. And if you went to Wonderfest, you probably saw Matt. You probably did. And I'm heartbroken, man. It sucks. And I know Thad's taking it really hard. We're gonna try and have Thad on at some point too, because it's like Laurel and Hardy, really. It was Matt and Thad. Like they were always together, and to not have, and I know it's hard on Thad, and I like my heart goes out to Thad and Matt's family, because there's a lot of really heavy, hard days ahead, and it's I don't even know where to begin. It's tough.
No, I don't either. I do know that when I posted on my Facebook page about my operation in a couple of days before he passed, he says, "Hey, good luck," or I'm not even sure what he said, but he made sure he commented on, my health issues and was concerned about my health. And when I had health issues 2 years ago, Matt called me. It was like, hey, I hope you do all right. And, we talked for a little bit. We hadn't talked in a while. And, the good thing about those guys is, you'd always pick up right where you left off. It was never and like I mentioned earlier, Thad came out last year and the three of us went out to eat. But Matt and Thad came out to the Chicago Resin Heads and Kit Builder show.
That snowstorm, remember that when it came?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was crazy. And then, they came out here. Remember when they had the Star Wars exhibit at the Field Museum? Matt and Thad came out for that. We all went down there together for that. And Matt got kind of side-eyed by a traffic cop that was just hilarious because I was fucking with him. And he like almost blew a red light and then had to stop in the crosswalk, and all the people had to go walking around us. And I'm busting up laughing, and this cop just looks at him. And Matt said, he just looked at me like my father did when I did something wrong. And we were all laughing. So Matt was a great guy. I'll certainly miss him. A lot of us will miss him. As far as the hobby goes, this was the closest friend I had in the hobby that I've lost. In the early days, I knew Don Ferentz pretty well, who we also lost in the last year. And Mike Parks, of course, was a great guy. And John Pettick, I knew. John Tuckey, of course. And for those that are out there that know, John and I had some issues at the end, but John was a friend for a long time. So it's it's
like we say it every time.
Oh, Bill Harrison too. I spoke about Bill Harrison
earlier in the episode.
Well, I think that was when we were off camera. I was talking about that. Bill Harrison, I was buying plastic kits from him and he was dropping them off at my house. So it's like there's been boom, 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 but Matt's definitely been the toughest. And, we'll miss you, buddy. Godspeed.
The one thing Matt would get, he had not a temper, but you could not pull one over on Matt. Because remember, he thought he got a recast on that Vampirella or something, where he was just like losing his mind. Like, this guy, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to get him. I'm like, okay, go do that.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep.
Oh, man. And he wasn't just figure models either. He loved his Maschen Krieger. And, Like, and he was really he knew his shit when it came down to model. Like, he knew his stuff. And man, it was hard with him not being there the last few years. And now knowing that it's not going to happen ever again. It sucks. And I keep saying it sucks because it does. And
when we went to the Star Wars thing, they had the 5-foot Millennium Falcon from the original movie. And it was really cool to see it because, it's right there. You can almost touch it. And Matt stood there and said, that's off that tank model, and that piece is off this model, and that piece is off this model. And it wasn't about being a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
It might have been some, but it was also about he loved the military stuff, so he knew.
Yeah. He knew his stuff.
The stuff that was on there, and so it's our heart goes out to Thad for sure. They were like brothers. For anyone that knew those two guys, they were like brothers. And they would kind of joke, here they are in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. What are the odds we're going to find someone else that's into the same stuff? And Thad too said, I wouldn't even know about Wonderfest if it wasn't for Matt, and I wouldn't have met any of you guys. And so Thad, hang in there.
Yeah.
And Matt's family, our condolences, of course. I think he's got a brother and sister still with us, and our condolences. So
yeah, absolutely. Hang in there, everybody.